Okay. What we're going to do today, or for this afternoon at least, is we are going to look at this article. Oh wow, it's so windy. It's unbelievably windy. Okay, so I have this article right here. I have cloned copies of it, so you can find the copies over there. I have also very generously cloned copies up for the people up there, so for anyone watching from up here, there's a table in that room. Please grab your copy of this article. Everyone in here, you can grab your copy. I'll give you about 2 minutes to do so, and then I'll begin. So. A little bit more time here. All right. So, if you just hold on for a split second, I'm just going to do this. Now, I think that we're all good. So I have a reason why I'm doing this. And I'm trying to think about different ways of approaching something while not being super boring. Oh my gosh. I don't want to give you a bunch of random stuff that you have to do in terms of work. I don't want to do that. So we'll see what we can come up with. Before anything else, let's read this article. So this is what it says. This is the article. And it's going to be random, and it does require that we read it a couple different times. So there will be no more work time that I'll give you. No more of that. It's not going to happen again. So this is the article. It's trying to put my mind into a place where I can focus and I can be attentive to this. I have to write a rhetorical analysis over this article, which I chose. And so that's why I'm doing this, is to try to get my brain into it so that I can really focus on it. I am not going to work during this meeting. No. So we'll see what we can do. So, there is going to be, a way. So, I just want to back up and say here, so we're looking at the next month. I just want to highlight the key events to you so that you're aware. Very early on in the month, on April 4th, we have Mercury heading into Taurus. On April 6th and 7th, it enters shadow to go into retrograde. Now, on the 5th and 6th, we do have a full moon in Libra, and of course, that day is really significant because it is my birthday and it's, full moon. And I'm going to try to think of a different way to do videos on my channel. Maybe make a presentation of the astrology that I talk about. Google Slides and present it that way. On the 10th, we do have Venus stepping into Gemini, so we're leaving Taurus and we're moving into Gemini, which means that in terms of values, it comes down to what's intellectually stimulating, what's mentally stimulating, wanting, appreciating the beauty, valuing intellectual connection, and variety and spontaneity. So that is going on. We also have the Sun and Jupiter coming together in a conjunction. The Sun's in Aries, Jupiter's in Aries. So this is beautiful benefic energy. This is where you can have a lot of blessings. You can shine, you can get out there, do things, have fun, all those kind of things like that. You can feel really lucky and confident. And then we move on to April 19th and 20th. We have a second new moon in Aries. A second new moon in Aries. And maybe I'll do a video on the I want to say the new moon in Aries, and then the lunar eclipse on the 5th. So I'll be doing a video about that. Yes. I don't want you to. Okay, before you tell me what is the question about, I don't want to hear it. Save your breath. Okay. So, now, um, and I'll go into the specifics about that new moon. So it won't be just like any new moon in Aries. I'll talk about, okay, this is what it means at 29 degrees of Aries. This is a shadow expression of Aries. It'll probably be a presentation, and one of those slides, maybe even a couple of the slides, will probably be covering, Adolf Hitler, talking about that. Really getting into the shadow qualities of Aries. That's kind of going to be the focus. The sort of scorpionic qualities of Aries, in a way. So I'll be talking about that. I am going to speak to the question that you were going to ask. I could feel it, and I knew that you were going to ask it. Here's what's going on. Be as true as you can. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to yourself. I'm not going to put anything out there that isn't true to what I believe. I do not think that I could do research. I mean, let's just say just generically, okay? Not that this is the truth, but just generically. Why do some eclipses occur in signs and nodes or not? And I do not think that if I put the question into Google, I will get an easy answer. And it's so frustrating to me why I seem to be the only one who can phrase that in simplest words. I mean, it's so frustrating to me that I can't get the answers to a simple question. And it feels like it's not the right question to ask, because I feel like there should be another more complex question which deals with more technical and detailed information concerning the astronomy. I can't help that. I just speak in really simple terms. I have Mercury in Taurus. And, I want the answers to my questions to be clear and understandable, as would anyone. And I don't think that if I put that into Google, I'm going to get a clear answer. It's going to be all the technical stuff. I don't know. I don't know. But, it will be just, it's a new moon. It's a really significant new moon, but it's a new moon. That's what I'm going to tell you. Then May is when the eclipses happen. So there's one on the 5th of May, and then fast forward to the 19th. There's one on the 19th. I mean, if it doesn't make sense for an eclipse, quote unquote, to occur when the North Node's in Taurus and not Aries, that doesn't make any sense. So, okay, well, guess what? It also doesn't make sense that an eclipse is going to occur on May 19th, when it's not, apparently. But apparently, some astrological event is getting attention as being significant as an eclipse, which I find is wrong. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. Yes, Mercury will go retrograde the day after the new moon in Aries. There will be a new moon in Aries, not an eclipse. I just want to make that really clear. So, when you hear astrologers say that, say that there is an eclipse happening, it's a new moon. Just know that they are referring to a new moon. An eclipse is a new moon. I'm just going to call it a new moon because that's what it is. It may be a lunar eclipse, it may be a partial eclipse, may have all of Uranus doing tricks on it. But it is a new moon, and that is what I believe, and that is what I choose to believe. Okay, they may say whatever they want to, but just know I am not going to join that bandwagon because everybody else is saying that. No, I don't believe in that. I don't want to be led down that other path of, okay, well, that's going to be wrong. Okay, well, so be it if it's wrong. I mean, it may be wrong. If I get a comment saying, oh, you're wrong, it's actually this. Oh, you're wrong, it's not an eclipse. Oh, well, delete. Delete. I don't need to see that on the channel. I don't need to see that. That is not what I believe. That is not my truth. Yes, certain things are factual. Certain things are realistic and certain things are the way they are. But guess what? What can you reduce it down to that it is the way it is while also being in alignment with what you believe? Or it may just be total denial. You know, I'm not saying go live on the glyph and go, live in your own land and just not face the reality. Well, the reality is I can't tell whether or not I put a date into an astrological calculator and it does not say, have an indicator separating if this is a new moon or eclipse. So it really doesn't matter. New moon, eclipse. It ultimately comes down to being a new moon. And that's all that I see this thing happening to be. It's last ditch. It is, ahead of its time. It's a straggler. Actually, the last ditch, bit, is accurate because you can have new moons happening at 29 degrees. That is, possible. That is believable. You can go into an astrological calculator and calculate that by the orb. You see 0 degrees 0 minutes, sun conjunct moon. That forms a new moon. Or sun opposite moon, 0 degrees 0 minutes. The sun and moon are exactly conjunct. And it may be at 29 degrees of a sign. Well, but then you say right there. I mean, maybe I haven't done all my research. I don't know. But, what I know is, this may be a little bit crazy, but maybe I may, up until the 21st, be just taking a leave of absence from social media. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see the stuff. So, I mean, it's not something to be all gung-ho about. It's not something to rave about. It's not something to make it such a big deal. It's a new moon. Treat it like a new moon. Because that's what it is. It does not fall in alignment with the lunar nose. Period. Period. I mean, you know, however you look at new moons, however significant a new moon is, and all the new moons are going to vary in terms of their significance. Some new moons are more astrologically significant than others, and this happens to be a pretty significant new moon because it may, I guess, herald in the North Node moving into Aries for the first time at 29 degrees of the sign, because the nodes move, reverse, so it may be, okay, well, this is going to be the degree that the North Node is going to enter Aries. So it's significant as a sort of, it may give a hint of what that energy is going to be like or something. I mean, my truth is, eclipses should occur in the signs the nodes are transiting at the current time period. I don't know if the astrologers, the astronomers can respect that, can honor that, can be true to that, and if they can't, well, guess what? That's not my problem. That's not my problem. You can't control them. You can't control the outside world. They can say whatever they want to say. But if you don't believe it, you don't have to be swept up by it. If you're like me and you do YouTube videos on astrology, no, period. Super symbol, not a whole lot I could go into more with that. This sort of mannerism, I guess, when they say, oh, I made another video on this, has sort of picked up on some of those same things. And what I hope I'm really picking up is, well, how they talk about it, not sort of, oh, I made another video on that, and, talking about all that kind of thing. I mean, some provide more kind of information and detail than others, and that detailed information is different, depends on which astrologer that you are tuning into. I mean, yeah. So, if I'm going to go along with that belief, guess what? Hope you like what you're going to see from me, because it's not going to be positive, because I didn't agree with that. So, it'll be all negative and all serious and all gloom and doom. Probably won't be. Who knows? Maybe I would just choose to talk about more of the shadow sides of Aries. Whether it be a new moon or eclipse, I just choose to do that. It just feels better to go along with everybody else, doesn't it? And this is just to say in general. Let's just open this up a little bit more. Just this is a really trivial, petty issue that I'm speaking about right here. So let's just open it up. If I didn't feel that way, I wouldn't be talking about it, period. Because, everything I say comes from a place of truth. Now, certain things are out of your control. I've already said that. It just feels better when you can confidently say something Because it feels so delicious because you're actually on the same page. You're actually in agreement. You're actually following the herd. Oh, of course it's going to feel good because you're on the same page as everybody else. Doesn't it feel better when you just blend in? Doesn't it feel better when you just blend in, wear the same clothes, do the same things? Of course it's going to feel better. Of course, sometimes it's going to feel better not to be authentic to yourself because of that whole mentality of the group mentality. The whole being with the herd thing. Following the herd, being a part of the herd, playing by the rules, following by the book, conforming. I'm not going to conform to this, in my mind, false name for something which I believe it isn't. You know, it's like a child that does really poorly in school does not deserve a type of reward that another child did do the hard work and does deserve that reward. I shouldn't say that, has earned that reward. The child that is the new moon eclipse in Aries is a child that has not earned that reward because it does not follow. Oh, no, I'm being a little contradictory. Here's what I'm going to say. That child does not deserve that award of being, sort of a child who has not earned something and is getting celebrated, honored, looked at as being significant based off of its own, merit alone. Because in that type of situation, we would be looking at that. We wouldn't be looking at anything else. We would be just solely looking at the work that the person put in. I don't know. So, I mean, I can go in many different directions with this. What else was I going to say? Feels better. I mean, isn't it irritating when you hear stuff? You're like, I don't believe in that. That's not right. That's not what I believe in. How about instead of just, oh, guess what? I am just going to conform. I'm going to go along with it. No! No. You do what you want to do. You say whatever the heck you want to say. You be whatever the heck you want to be. Be who you are. It may not be accurate. It may look weird, or it may not be correct. What I believe in is what I believe. I'm going to put it out there. I want to talk about it. But I don't want to call it by this name, this title. Because it does not deserve this title. You have one child who has put in so little work and is getting certain attention. That would be the thing happening on the 20th. And then you have another child, the May 19th child, who has put in so much work. Well, you know, I have to really be honest. Maybe I am missing the mark here. Maybe, like, this is the thing. I just don't understand how you could have something happen in a sign, like an eclipse isn't a sign, is it a sign that the nose is not in? Maybe it's like out of sign or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll just call it a new moon, because that's what it ultimately is in the end. I mean, if I can call an eclipse just a new moon and I can be safe. So, if I want to talk about May 19th, new moon. Okay, well, for some reason I just want to call it a new moon. For some reason, this thing happening, you know, on the 20th, you know, it's not for me to call it whatever. I'm going to give all the information and talk about it. But that doesn't mean that it is what they say it is. I don't believe that. Because I don't understand that. I don't know. I mean, I do not want to go down a bottomless pit of trying to get a really simple answer, but then getting lost in the minutia and the details of trying to understand the astronomy of how this can happen and how that can happen. I just want to, you know, an answer. And then if I get the answer, I wouldn't even recognize it because I'm getting so caught in the technical details and trying to understand. Forget it. Maybe I'll just do some research and find out. But